Today we're going to take a look at how to make a cumulative frequency or cumulative relative frequency graph in the calculator. So to start with, if I go into Stat Edit, I have already typed data in. This is about visitors to a castle. In L1, I have the right end of each interval. So this one is 0 to 50. There were 16 days with 0 to 50 visitors, 38 days with 50 to 100 visitors, 50 days with 100 to 150 visitors, etc. I did have to add the 0.00 at the top so that my graph will look the way I want it to. So this is my frequency table. To go to the cumulative frequency, I'm going to go over to L3 and go up to the top and highlight L3. Then if I go to second stat, this will bring up some other options that I can do with lists. So if I go over to the right to operations, I'm going to choose number 6, which is cumulative sum. And I want to sum L2. So I'm going to click L2. So now I have my cumulative frequencies. Again, there were 200 days that we had data with for, so the final number should be 200. If I want to make my cumulative frequency graph, I'm going to graph L1 and L3. So I'm going to go second, y equals, to go into the stat plot, turn this on, and then the type of graph that I want is this line graph. I'm going to click enter there. I want my x variable to be L1 and my y variable to be L3. Now I can do zoom 9 to zoom in and see my graph. If I want more detail on where these points are, I can use the trace button and then the arrow keys to scroll through the points. If instead I want a cumulative relative frequency chart, because if you notice here, the highest y value is 200, I can go back to Stat, Edit, and in L4, I'm going to say that I want the percentages instead of the frequencies like we have in L3. So I'm going to go up to L4, highlight that, and say, okay, I want to take the values in L3, divide by 200 because there were 200 data entries, and multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Now I have my percentages here. I can go back to second y equals and say that I actually want to graph L1 and L4. Again, I can do zoom 9, and now I have my cumulative relative frequency graph. You can see that the y values here are all percentages. They are between 0 and 100. So that's how you make cumulative frequency and cumulative relative frequency graphs on your calculator.